Saying Appleby or Zane, and I'm with Fruity. And I have with me today
Rory, the whole food dude. Hey guys.
Rory Bland, who's not very bland, and I are going to check out these two juices today. Two Optimum juices. This is the Optimum 400 juicer, which you will have seen Rory and I both use in videos in the past. This is a slow juicer, the slowest on the market, absolutely amazing. And we're going to compare it with another Optimum product today. This is
the Optimum 600.
We have taken it up a notch. This is a revolutionary kitchen appliance. I'm absolutely in love with it. But before we tell you about that, we're going to tell you about the old way of juicing. So what we would have done in the past is used a centrifugal juicer. And a centrifugal juicer is where you pop the whole ingredient down the tube and the spinning blades make a very loud noise and shred all the ingredients. Pulp goes one way, juice goes another. Those blades create heat. That heat destroys enzymes. We notice lots of separation in juice and we get a lot less yield. It also has difficulty juicing your greens, so you don't get much of the greens on the way through with the centrifugal juicer. Now Rory's going to tell you what a slow juicer like the Optimum 400 would be different.
Absolutely. So the Optimum 400 juicer is completely different. Instead of grating and shredding the nutrients, it presses them, which means you have more enzymes, you have more nutrients, your juice is able to stay longer in the fridge when you store it, and it has less grit and junk in there as well, which is awesome.
It's kind of like a masticating.
Yeah, massaging.
And what you do is you get all those nutrients, which I love, because juice is great, smoothies are great, that's why we love using our blenders. But juice is great. The nutrients from the juice get into your blood within 15 minutes. And when you're doing this with the slow juicer, you get more yield than with the centrifugal juicer.
So true. And especially with your greens, if you try putting kale through a centrifugal juicer, you'll get nothing. Yeah. When you put it through something like this, you get exactly what you need from the kale.
So we've already got an amazing slow juicer. Why have we got another slow juicer?
Well, so we can actually put those large ingredients in without having to chop them.
I think I like it. If you were preparing for the slow juicer, it doesn't actually take very long to prepare for the Optimum 400. You simply want to chop your ingredients into wedges or sticks like I'm doing here. It doesn't take very long at all. I do it on a regular basis with my Optimum 400 juicer. Well, I did do it until I got an Optimum 600. I probably find that I spend 1 or 2 minutes chopping the ingredients all the way until they're in the right size and collecting them on a plate before I pop them through my 400. So you'll see it actually doesn't take very long at all, but some people find that even that much is more than what they're willing to put in for their juice. And so the difference between the 400 and the 600 is that we've got that whole slow juicer with a big wide mouth. What we can do is take a whole ingredient like this one and pop it straight in the top. You do use the tamper to posh the ingredients down, similar to what you would have done in a centrifugal juicer. In the 400 juicer, then you want to make sure that you don't do any pushing. It'll feed itself through as well. So let's have a little look. Shall we juice some stuff?
Yeah,
let's turn them on, see what we get.
Exciting.
I'm excited.
So cool.
I love it.
No cutting required.
No cutting at all. It's great, isn't it?
I can really just cram things in there, can't I? It's great. Just going to release that look in there. Whoa. Beauty. Chuck in a lemon, apple, carrot.
You're having fun there, Rory.
I am. This is so much fun.
Rory has always complained about slow juicers. Although he loves the health benefits of a slow juicer, he has never been a fan of having to chop things up. And this one you'll really enjoy.
Watch this, whole things of celery.
Is this your first time using the 600 juicer?
It is. This is my first time using it. I'm so excited. See, look at that.
I think Rory's going to get a new toy in his kitchen.
Look, you don't have to cut that whole stalk of celery. Where did it go, man? It is in the juice. Wow. So exciting. How's it going?
Well, you get the benefit of speed that you would have had with the old centrifugal juicer, but also...
You're currently almost overflowing.
Oh!
Beauty.
I was so distracted by the Optimum 600. Look, they're both great juices.
Absolutely.
They're both available now. You can definitely use this one, and I still have one of these. I love it, but I certainly adore the fact that I can pop the ingredients in like you've seen Rory do and get a great result at the end there. And I'll just quickly finish this one up here. And we'll pop all the leaves in. And look, this is the benefit of a slow juicer. All the leaves can go in, everything can go in. And you do get all that. And just only ever, if you need to, gently use the tamper in the 400. It's not for pushing or shoving like a centrifugal, and you may need to use a little bit of a push, popping a whole apple or beetroot into the 600, but certainly you don't need to shove like you would have had to do with a centrifugal, though you are able to use that little bit more pressure in there. I've popped all of the same ingredients through that Rory has. I've been letting them partially mix in the bowl of the 400, so again, you can do that in both juices, and they're both, as I said, great juices. 600, whole mouth. So you've got that wide whole mouth, you can pop the whole fruits or vegetables in and juice them, and then you've got the 400 with the smaller feed chute, which does require that moment or two extra preparation. Shall we pour them out and see what we've got, Rory?
I think so.
So you can make sure that there's no dripping on your bench by making sure that the little button is closed there on both of the juices, and pour them into a glass and see what sort of delicious red juice we've created today. And I've got just a little bit extra there, as has Rory, so we've done a great job of creating those two recipes, and they're going to taste absolutely delicious. But look, you'll see right away, no separation, so great results, exactly like a slow juicer should have, and they're going to taste beautiful. Anything else you want to add, Rory?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm excited.
I think he's going to get one. I love them. You know the benefits. If you want to know more benefits of a slow juicer, then there's some great videos on the Fruity TV YouTube channel explaining them. But I really today wanted to point out the significant difference between these two. Great slow juicers, but look at the little bit of extra time that Rory saved and the little bit of extra effort. So that's it for me today.
Cheers to your health, guys. Cooking with Zane, and today we have Rory.
Rory's the whole food dude, and we are excited to have him in this comparison video. We're going to look at the Optimum 400 slow juicer compared to a centrifugal juicer that you might buy at your local supermarket, and we'll have a look at the pros and cons of, well, both. Well, it's time for us to juice. We've popped the centrifugal right up here next to the Optimum 400 juicer, and we've got exactly the same things on the plate. Now, all of those ingredients are going to go through the Optimum 400 really easily. We've done the prep for the 400. We've just chopped them into little sticks so that they can go down the feed tube easily and we can get the best result. But have a look at how much of those greens, those leafy greens, come out. I would chat to you while we're juicing, but the centrifugal is going to make so much noise. Loud. The 400 juicer is nice and quiet. We can talk over the top, but when Rory turns that on, you'll hear a big difference. So Rory, let's get juicing.
All right. That right? As you can see,
there is a big difference between the two juices.
there is a big difference.
Just a standard one. If you want to pull that apart and check it out, Rory, I'll just keep juicing over here with my Optimum 400
so this
juicer.
one's straight out of the box. We haven't done anything to it, and it has malfunctioned slightly.
Well, it's just got a little bit caught because it's ripping and shredding and tearing. You know, it's just got caught at the bottom there and hasn't been able to feed through. So we're going to have to waste that bit or feed it through again. But I think we'd find the same thing happened if we fed it through again. So Rory's going to put it back together. The kitchen bench is a bit of a mess.
A little bit messy. Shall I wipe that down, Zane?
Look, I think we can just keep going. We can see how comfortable and neat the Optimum is, and the slow juicers just are. No wonder people didn't like juicing, is what Rory just said to me over that noise. And I totally agree with him. That just absolutely makes a racket. I've been juicing with a slow juicer for a while, and this is so quiet. You can see we've got a beautifully mixed juice here. In the Optimum juicer, it's absolutely beautiful and mixed well. Over here in this centrifugal juicer, besides the fact that our entire kitchen bench is a mess, the juicer kept wiggling and moving. It was loud and noisy. The juice, you can see already, is really separated rather than combined here in the juicing jug. So I'm going to pop it in a little cup, and we're going to just have a look at what happens in a few minutes. Rory, have a go?
All right.
So there's a lot. This is really thick and chunky as it goes into the cup. Even with us putting that thick and chunky pulp in there, you can actually see that there's considerably less yield. The green colour is not as bright. I don't know if you can see that there, but the green colour is definitely not as bright. And from my naked eye, I can really clearly see that that centrifugal juice is separating and moving apart. So, you know, the nutritional profile of a slow juicer juice is much higher. The juice is well combined. We were able to draw more of the greens out of the vegetables and have that beautiful green juice in there. And of course this one made a mess, got stuck, made a lot of noise, and that was a brand new centrifugal juicer straight from the box. So a really big comparison. Do you have anything to add, Rory?
No, you said it spot on. This, we took it right out of the box. We hadn't used it before. We put it like that, and it really...
We were able to see what a centrifugal juicer does in comparison. Yeah, and this was brand new out of the box as well, so you know, neither of them have been changed from standard as they come, and yet look, already you can see what a difference, and that's just while we've been chatting. Let's leave it for 5 minutes and take another little shot. Otherwise, ciao for now.
See you guys. Cheers to your health.
A really fun and delicious way to pack in a huge handful of spinach. Hearty greens, so you're gonna get all those nutrients without even tasting it. The way that we're gonna do that is we're gonna make it a tropical green smoothie. So we're adding some frozen pineapple, frozen mango, and a bunch of frozen banana, along with some vanilla almond milk. And that's gonna make it really creamy and sweet and flavorful. I promise you, you're not even gonna taste the spinach. It's just gonna make it a beautiful green smoothie that's gonna make you energized and healthy throughout the day.
And there you have it, a lush green smoothie that you absolutely must try at home.
Hey, and welcome to Getting Into Raw Cooking with Zane. We're using the Optimum 400 juicer to make a juice today full of kale, carrots, celery, all those stringy and fibrous vegetables that some of you have had trouble with in the past when juicing. There's a couple of techniques to get great pulp-free juice without blocking the juicer, and this is the same for all slow juicers in this upright position. A masticating or slow juicer squeezes or crushes, it can't possibly cut, so you do actually need to remove the leaves from the stalks when you're using things like kale or silver beet and spinach. Leave the stalks and leaves separate. You also need to chop both the stalks and the leaves into pieces, a couple of centimeters long. 3 to 5 centimeters is just fine. I make mine about this big, finger's length or half a finger's length, and pop them aside on the board. You also need to chop your celery the same way. I've done this already, chopping it down. So not only is it a little bit thinner, but it's just short lengths, because as I said, there's no cutting function inside any of the masticating juices. The next thing that you need, so I've got some kale there, we've got some celery here, we've got quite a bit of ginger because that's tasty. You can leave the skin on your lemons and limes, and I normally chop them into thick slices so that they go through nice and easily. We've got our apple. You can leave the core in, but you do need to chop again into little wedges so that you can pop that straight through the juicer. And then our carrots, and carrots are a great, delicious, hard vegetable, but again, you need to chop these ones up so that they go in nice and smoothly. So I usually chop in half, and in half, and then in half. So we've got those pieces there. The great thing that I love about juicing carrots is that you can usually buy a big bag like these ones of juicing carrots. They might have a few blemishes on the outside, but they juice up beautifully. And carrots, as we know, are great. They've got vitamin A, good for your eyes. Think Bugs Bunny, but they're also a really nice sweeter flavour for a juice. So I find if you're getting into green juices, using carrot in your green juice with a little bit of apple is actually a great way to make an alkaline green juice that tastes a bit sweeter. And just talking about acid and alkaline kinds of foods when it comes to eating, we want to have a diet that's about 80-20 acid alkaline. So, sorry, 20-80 acid alkaline. We want more alkaline foods. And all of the things that you see on this table today, except for the apple, are alkaline kinds of food. So this is a really great healthy juice. The nutrients from this juice will hit your bloodstream in about 15 minutes and you will feel fantastic. I've just recently finished a 5-day juice fast. I did nothing but juice like this in the Optimum 400 juicer for 5 days, and the juicer held up beautifully and I felt fantastic. So I'd really recommend this is a great juicer for juice fast, for daily juice, for a quick juice, but this one's one of my favorite. Watch this. First of all, I'm going to put some of the leafy greens in. Then I'm going to alternate that with a little bit of the hard vegetables, which will help me to push that down. I let the hard vegetables kind of just fall in on their own, like that, and you'll see pulp comes out one side, but juice not actually coming out the other side because I've got the juicing tap in place and it's on closed. And the reason why I do that is to combine those flavours in the juicer in one go. Now, if you'd like to reduce the amount of pulp that comes into your juice, then putting the fibrous or leafy vegetables last is a technique. If you don't mind a tiny bit of pulp appearing in your juice, then I recommend actually alternating your leafy vegetables, your stringy vegetables with some of your harder vegetables or fruits. And that alternation will mean that everything gets pushed out the waste chute, and we'll find this is actually quite dry when it comes out. I'm squeezing it there and there's no more liquid to come out, and you get a great mixed juice in that way. So pop them all through gently. Ginger, of course, gets squeezed, so in comparison to a centrifugal juicer, you are going to get a beautiful, sweet, gingery flavour in this particular juice. Now remember, it is a slow juicer. So slow masticating juices need a minute to juice. And once you've filled the bowl or nearly filled the bowl, you can open the spout, and there we can see a beautifully mixed juice coming all the way out. And having that closed prevents too much foam from those leafy vegetables building up. You can see if you need to, you can always push with your tamper just to get things going. There we go, and I can smell the ginger already. So you can still see the pulp all coming out easily from the pulp chute. I've got a nice mixed juice here, and you can see that there's some juice in the bowl. The bowl holds about 300 mils at a time, and you just let it out and you'll notice that there's barely any foam on the top. The juice is nearly complete and it's absolutely fresh and nutritious for you. You'll see that there's barely any pulp in this particular juice, and it's just because of technique. Chop the pieces small enough to go in, feed them gently. I usually find the action of taking my hand from the board to the chute is enough time for everything to have fed through. And use your ear. You can actually hear as it squeezes a carrot, it makes a different sound to when it squeezes an apple. Every now and then, if you need to, gently press into the feed tube, but it's not a centrifugal juicer. It's not like we used to use where you have to force everything in. The juice is just going to draw the lot in on its own and create a delicious, easy juice. And to disassemble your juicer, all you need to do is turn it off and take the pieces out, and you can rinse them easily underneath the tap in your sink until they're nice and clean. And you'll see that we've really squeezed out the juice in all of those things. So that's delicious, easy, simple juice. I'm going to pour it into a glass. I think I deserve some after filming today, and I usually do, just to make sure that there's no excess pulp, pop my finger or the back of a spoon in the spout here and just ensure any excess pulp stays in the jug and not in my cup. There we go. Look at that. Delicious, fresh green juice. Cheers to your health.